Daniel, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thanks. No complaints?
Good.
Okay, Daniel, I'll start with a question for you. Golf is very much a lifestyle sport that includes travel, being in nature, meeting new friends, and our company Golfway is all about promoting the lifestyle aspect of golf. And I'm curious to hear, what was it about golf that attracted you to the sport when you got started?
You know, I lived nearby the golf course, just 7 iron from the golf course. So it was kind of natural to me to go there. And I had a lot of friends that I hanged out with. So I think the friend thing was the big thing, yeah, when I started.
Great. What would you say, Andrew? What got you started?
Very
in golf?
similar. I lived the same distance from a golf course. I had all my friends there. It was a place to hang out with your buddies, and you know, that was what we loved to do. We loved to practice and play golf, and I think it's the challenge of it, and that's what people love to this day is you don't get it right all the time, but there are those days where it works, and that's what keeps you coming back for more.
You both spend a lot of your time inspiring other people to improve their golf. But Andrew, how do you stay inspired for your own game and also for your teaching?
I definitely try to stay inspired for my teaching. For my own game, I really like to look at it like I'd rather spend my time trying to stay on top of my teaching, stay on top of my method of communication to help people get better than work on my own game. I must say, I think that's a little bit of an excuse because I haven't practiced for years, and as a result, my game is not where it used to be. It tends to not be as fun when that happens, but I really try to inspire other people to play better.
And
Daniel, what would you say? How do you stay inspired?
I tried to go and see, you know, good coaches that I want some information from.
Yeah.
So I see Andrew, I see other guys most often in the States. I travel there every now and then to get new information and, you know, meet new people. And also, as you said, you know, trying to improve your skills of communication with people. I think
Sure.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Both of you actually started your teaching careers working at the David Leadbetter Academy in the US. And Daniel, you were the first from Scandinavia to actually be an instructor at the Leadbetter Academy. Yeah. What do you think, what sort of beliefs of the golfing philosophies did you gain or did you bring back from working with Leadbetter?
I think David had a good system for teaching, and also had a good system of drills that backed his kind of swing changes, so you got the swing changes in place. So I think that was a good one, and I really think I also was taught you know, the basic fundamentals of the swing, what to look for, what not to look for. And after you get such a good education like we did there, then you could go to other teachers, you can read books, and you can kind of pick out the right information that fits your teaching style.
And so you started there as well, Andrew, and now you're actually positioning yourself as a mentor to other golf coaches. And what would you say then are your top 2 tips that you can give other golf coaches in terms of promoting themselves and their teaching philosophies?
I think you can have the best product in the world, and this applies to any business really. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you're sitting there by yourself. So golf coaches need to understand the environment for spreading the word is so different today to what it was 20 years ago. And some coaches have moved with the times and other coaches haven't. I think it's so important for us to use social media to get the word out. And I like to tell people that you're just giving them a taste. I want people to taste what I have to offer so that they'll come in and want to get a full serving of it. I'm going to try to give people tips here and there on a multitude of different golf related topics, and the more they like it and the more tastes they get, the more likely they are to come in and try to join in.
today there's obviously a lot of focus on the world's best players and how we can get inspiration from them. And Andrew, if you were to pick your top male and top female player, who would they be, and how can the average golfer get something or learn something from them?
I think now, with Jordan Spieth having won the first 2 majors of the year, we've got to put him as the top male golfer. I think his inspiration, certainly for me, is he's an athlete. He's not a one sport athlete. He didn't grow up playing just golf. He played a lot of different sports. He's using those skills that he learned playing other sports to help him be a better athlete golfer. And I would really encourage young golfers nowadays to play as many sports as they can and to become skillful. Instead of trying to develop this perfect swing, try to hit lots of different shots and try to be an artist of the game of golf. I think lady-wise, there are so many exciting young players out there. A player I love to watch is Lexi Thompson. She's very similar to Jordan. Not perfect technique, highly skilled, athletic type golfer. I like that in a player.
And we're curious to hear what you think, Daniel. Would you, if I'm forcing you here not to pick the same names as Andrew, who would you go with, both male and female? And then also, why do you think they can be an inspiration to the average golfer?
I'm glad you asked me first.
Tough to be
Thanks
second.
for asking me first, Johan.
It's really hard to say, but I think most good players can be an inspiration for all players. And as you said there, Andrew, I think you're 100% right that you need to come from a background where you have a multiple sports background. I don't think you can come from one sport background. And if you look at the best players in the world, they have done like multiple sports for a long time until they decide to go for example, golf. I think that's important for all sports. Okay. That you do many different sports, kind of develop your body, develop your sensibility, and then you can use that for whatever sport you choose.
Yeah.
Shifting a bit of direction, and it's actually the final question. Daniel, what do you think the golf industry in Sweden needs to do to keep growing the game and actually grow the popularity of the game going forward?
Yeah, I think golf needs to be a little bit more rock and roll. You need to play music on the practice range. You need to do like more shorter competitions, like maybe 6-hole competition. More stuff for juniors to do when they come to golf course. So if a junior come to the golf course and see all the white shoes and so they need to see a more a fun environment. And I think tournament-wise, you need to do more like scrambled competitions and stuff like that, compared with maybe some nice dinner or some simple, easy dinner at the clubhouse afterwards to get the social thing going.
Yeah. And Andrew, it's exactly what Daniel is talking about here. It's obvious that the game needs to attract more young players. And what do you think we need to do as an industry to make it more accessible then to not only young people but all kinds of people, even those who don't come from a golfing background?
I think we've got to change the old ways. I know throughout the world there are golf clubs that are struggling to try to get new golfers, to try to retain their members. And we've got to get rid of the old ways of thinking where you need a jacket and a tie to go into this room, and you've got to be dressed a certain way here, and if you're this age you can't tee off at this time. We've got to change things and open things up to where people are more accepting of young people in particular. And just, I love what Daniel said, we've got to make it more rock and roll. And I know that's what you guys are trying to do, and we've got to give it a fresh approach and make it cool. I think guys, having great players up there like Rory and Jordan, Ricky Fowler, fantastic as well, can make golf cool again. And I see kids love those guys. and they love the way they dress, Ricky in particular. That's what golf needs, an infusion of young people who want to play the game, who think golf is cool.
Guys, thanks very much. That was very impressive with no preparation at all. So that wraps up the questions, and what I'd love for you guys to do now is just grab a putter and a wedge, or a wedge and a putter, up to you, a few balls, and let's head over to the putting green.
Let's go.